Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. At some point, my mind reverted back to my experiences here, to the professors that challenged me and struggled against me. Professor Roberts Williams, Doc Singleton, George Epstein, to name a few, the ones that would fail you out of the goodness of their hearts. And this may be hard to grasp for some of you right now, but I even considered President Swigert and how negotiating with him was practice for a world that was considerably more cruel and unforgiving than any debate here, one that had no interest in my ideals and beliefs. How would I maneuver through all of this?
Those that can't do teach. And I don't find that to be a thing at this point. And don't get me wrong, some people that teach can't actually do it in the field. But actually, some people that can do stuff in the field can't teach it. And the reason why I wanted to say this is because there is a common misconception that people that decide to teach a certain thing can't actually cut it in the real world of doing it as an active profession. And that's not true by any means. And I can debunk this by the simple fact that I had college professors when I went to SCAD that actually worked on big movies. Some of them worked on things that you would have heard of, like The Predator or Aliens. And then it just got later on in life and they decided that they have all this knowledge from being on sets or being in advertising agencies or being in animation studios or being in sound effects and so on, that they can pass that along to a different generation of us creatives. Should we think that they're not able to cut it anymore because they decided to give us this information? No, not at all. And I'm gonna tell you why. When you go to school or you learn things from people, you want to learn things from people that have actually done it, that have real world experience. They know the stresses and they know the anxieties and they know the pain points of what comes along with what we will be doing. This doesn't just apply to art, it applies to most professions. But the reason why I wanted to say this in art or as a creative is because people tend to think that teachers can't do it. Well, something I've learned recently, really recently, because I'm training to be in the next step of my career, which is a creative director. And something that was told to me is, I need to be able to teach somebody what I do. I need to be able to get the person ready who's gonna fill my seat. Because you don't just decide to go up in positions and then all of a sudden somebody just moves in. You want the person who's gonna move into your spot to be equally good as you or better than you, and your knowledge that you pass on to them to get into that spot, they're only going to take it and run with it because they have a different set of knowledge that you don't have. They have a different skill that you don't have. So they could only make it better. That's what you hope. So I feel like everybody becomes a teacher at some point, or you can call it a mentor, but I'm going to call it a teacher. To have the skill to teach somebody what you do says a lot about you as a person. It says a lot about you as a professional. It says a lot about you as a creative. What it actually says is you really do know your craft if you are able to teach it to somebody. Because in order to teach it to somebody effectively, not just teach it, effectively, and make them functioning to the point where they increase revenue, they increase the amount of projects that go out, they increase productivity, you have to be a pretty good teacher. For those of you that know basketball, you may have heard of Phil Jackson, one of the best coaches to ever coach basketball. He coached two of the greatest players of all time, one being Michael Jordan and one being Kobe Bryant. He was a player himself, but maybe not as good as those two. Actually, he wasn't as good as those two. But he was able to produce winning teams, winning players, championship players, and championship teams, because he taught what he knew about the game of basketball. So I'm telling you, professors, teachers, students, colleagues, those who just work in the industry, pass on your knowledge. For those that don't have it yet, soak up the knowledge. Don't discredit the people that are teaching you because you don't know what their experience is. They can help you get to the next level. The stuff that you soak up can help you get to the next level. So please understand, we need to take away that common misconception that those that teach can't actually do, because that is not true at all. I do not believe that for 1 minute. Yes, I do believe that there are teachers that will never set foot in a professional setting of what they're teaching, but I do believe that in some cases that is their choice. I do believe that in some cases, maybe they really couldn't cut it. But that doesn't apply to everybody, because I will tell you this. Me coming on YouTube and talking to you, I believe that I'm teaching somebody how to get over stuff. I'm teaching somebody how to move on in the creative space. I'm teaching something, but I'm also doing. So please believe, teachers are highly valuable to us as people and as creatives and in this society. I do believe that they don't get paid enough for what they do in the crap that they have to take. They don't get paid enough for people saying that because they're teaching, they can't do it. And some of you are watching this right now going, I've never said that. So this doesn't apply to you. But this does apply to the many people that put teachers in a box. So I say this, please, please tell somebody who's taught you something, thank you. Reach out to somebody and let them know that you made it. Because teachers need to know that they're giving us something that is not for nothing. I'm going to ask you to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Creatively Speaking is the channel in case you don't know. But in this particular one, what I'm going to ask you to do as well is share this video, because I want to make sure that educators and higher ups and so on, people who mentor and teach, know that they are appreciated and they're producing quality people. So until next time, be creative, be stress-free, and as always, do the most amazing work that you can do. And thank somebody who's taught you.
God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Graduating class, hear me well on this day. When you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education, you would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When I dare to challenge the system that would relegate us to victims and stereotypes with no clear historical backgrounds, no hopes or talents, when I questioned that method of portrayal, a different path opened up for me. The path to my destiny. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you.